Hello, brains! Can't wait to read my book? Now you don't have to. I'll read part of it to you right now. I'm going to read a little bit of chapter 7, How to Motivate Your Brain, because that is one of the things that those of us with ADHD tend to struggle with the most. In my book, every chapter is divided into 4 sections: the experience of, what I learned, toolbox section, and then an anecdote at the end. So I'm going to read the experience of section where I talk about what it's like to struggle with motivation, which might sound familiar. And if you want to read the rest of it, you actually can. If you pre-order my book, or if you have pre-ordered the book, you can actually get the entire chapter 7. But I will read what I can of it to you now. How to motivate your brain. If we have our own why of life, we shall get along with almost anyhow. Friedrich Nietzsche. I do what I feel like. Bart Simpson. Me versus brain. Most of my life has been a battle between me, who knows this thing is important, and my brain, which doesn't want to do it. Me. I'm gonna do this thing. My brain. No. Me. But I really need to get it done to stay on track with this important life goal. My brain. What life goals? Wipes life goals from hard drive, overwrites with cat videos. On the flip side, I've often found myself randomly motivated to do things I don't even care about. Me. Watches a video showing you how to make cake out of melted ice cream. My brain. Yes, that's amazing. Let's do that right now. Me. Right. So I guess we aren't answering emails today. Grabs pint of Cherry Garcia, leaves laptop in freezer. I usually understand why I should do or avoid doing a thing, but that understanding in and of itself doesn't translate into usable motivational fuel. It doesn't matter if the task is critical to something I care deeply about, or entirely irrelevant and a giant waste of time. What matters is whether or not my brain feels like doing it. Sometimes I really can't do something unless my brain cooperates. It feels like a hostage negotiation. Sometimes I can push through a task with my brain kicking and screaming, I don't wanna, and actually get the thing done. But there's a trade-off. It takes 3 times as long, I'm less effective, and there's a good chance it'll be harder to complete the task the next time around. Sometimes I can excite and engage my brain, only for it to completely lose interest, forget what I was doing, or get stuck at the first confusing obstacle. I have a lot of half-knitted blankets and half-finished degrees. No matter how much I cared about getting a role, graduating college, having a clean home, or landing a real job, I'd find myself avoiding or procrastinating the tasks needed to stick with and accomplish these goals. And then I have an asterisk for a footnote. Footnote. Fun fact. While reviewing the copy edits for this chapter, I went down a rabbit hole about why my copy editor changed procrastinating on to simply procrastinating. And wow, he was right. It's correct to use procrastinate intransitively. That was a new word I learned. When we're speaking about acting on a task. And yeah, this is how this happens. Not only are we more motivated by the new shiny things, we're more distracted by them too. See How to Hyperfocus, page 47. I have a lot of those throughout the book where I'm like, hey, you want to learn more about this? Go to this other chapter, and it tells you which page it's on, which is cool. That's not something I can do as easily in my videos. I often spent so much energy trying to convince myself to do the thing or figuring out how to do the thing that I didn't have enough left to actually complete it. If something became urgent enough, I'd kick into gear. Everything else fell away while I finished a paper or scrambled to get to class on time, or apologetically rolled into Jiffy Lube 6 months overdue for an oil change because I was about to go on a road trip. The things that were important to me but never became urgent, like finishing my novel, learning to meal prep, or hosting a murder mystery dinner party, I just never got to them. It made no sense to me or the people around me. There were explanations, of course. I must be lazy. I had no willpower. Maybe I didn't actually care about this. Occasionally, I was convinced I was self-sabotaging. Why else would I spend an entire summer getting an A in statistics but not bother to register for the class? On some level, I must have wanted to fail. It was frustrating and exhausting. Most things in life require you not only to do things, but also do them consistently. And motivation, for me, was anything but consistent, so my efforts rarely paid off. I wanted to know why. What I learned. Okay, this part is going to be in the pre-order excerpt, but I'll read a little bit of it here because there's a little bit of this page left. What I learned. ADHD brains aren't motivated by what's important. In fact, many of our most important tasks are ones that ADHD brains find viscerally painful to do, the ones that are lengthy, repetitive, or boring. Even if we have the motivation to accomplish a goal, we might still have trouble working toward it. Goals frequently come with multiple tasks, and many of these tasks involve these characteristics, which our brains can't sustainably tolerate. In fact, there's even a term for a tendency to escape and avoid the distress that a delay causes us. Delay aversion. And that's about it. Unless you want me to stop in the middle of a sentence, in which case. ADHD brains often turn to the more immediate reward of doing. The second policeman, Officer Pong, as I'm sure you recall, tried to steer clear. Nope, that's not my book anymore. That's the dummy book, which is, what is this book? Luda. So if you'd like to read more of Luda, you can, I'll link to it in the description below. If you'd like to read more of my book, you can pre-order it. My producer's just shaking his head. This is what happens when I have to work on a Saturday. I actually just pasted some pages into this book because I don't have the actual final copy of the book in my hands yet, but I'm so excited to be able to be done writing the book and have an excerpt ready and available for pre-orders. If you'd like to read the rest of chapter 7, you can do so right now by pre-ordering my book, or if you have already pre-ordered my book, that works too. I will link in the description to a place on my website where you can go and get all the pre-order goodies. It'll be the entire chapter 7, as well as some exclusive phone wallpapers, some of which are holiday themed. And you'll also get information about what I'm calling the How to ADHD Book Club with me. It's going to be 3 weeks into January. We'll have an actual book club meeting to talk about How to ADHD the book, where you can come and ask questions. And that's exclusively for people who pre-order the book and help us make it a bestseller. It's now available for pre-order everywhere books are sold. A lot of people are asking questions about the book, so I have answers. Will there be an audiobook version? Yes, I'm actually starting to record it next week. Hopefully I have the ability to record it. My partner currently has laryngitis, so I'm trying really hard not to get sick. I believe it's gonna come out at the same time as the physical hard copy, which is January 2nd, 2024. And I'm going to be recording the audiobook at a really cool place called Bad Animals, which I guess Alice in Chains and some like other really cool artists have recorded there. So I'm super excited about it. We have the studio booked for 5 days and then another couple hours of pickups on another day. And I will be reading the entire book. So wish me luck. There are currently 2 international releases specific to being published in different countries. There's going to be a UK release, which is going to come out March of 2024. There will also be a release from a Brazilian publisher in Portuguese that I'm very excited about. I'm not sure when that one's coming out. I will find out. Hopefully there will be more international releases, but wherever you are in the world, you will be able to order this book, and we'll update our site with where to get it as we learn more. But yeah, right now, internationally, you can still order this book on Amazon. The reason I knew it was already available for pre-order was somebody from Germany actually showed me that they had pre-ordered it before we even did our cover reveal, so that was cool. Yeah, so a lot of the strategies in here are going to be helpful, whatever else you've got going on. A lot of the strategies are helpful, even if you're neurotypical. Life can be hard for them too. This book is designed to be helpful for ADHD and whatever. We actually have an entire chapter talking about ADHD and. Most people with ADHD have at least one other condition that they're also struggling with. Maybe not every strategy is going to apply to you. Some are going to be more important than others, but this book is meant to be able to be used by anyone with ADHD, regardless of what else they've got going on. Also, a lot of it was read by my ADHD partner, and he really liked a lot of the strategies too. So there is also that. Thank you to my brain advocates and all my Patreon brains for not only supporting the work that I did on this book over the last 2 years, but actively contributing to it. We had a brain board once a month where I would read the chapters as I was working on them and get feedback. This book is a labor of love, not just by me, but by a lot of people in this community who contributed quotes, who contributed feedback, and I'm just super proud of how it turned out, and I'm really grateful to all of you who contributed to it. So thank you so much. I hope you like this excerpt. It's just a small part of a really large book where it's really the essential guide to ADHD. It's literally everything that I've learned about ADHD that I think is important to remember that I've learned over the last 7 years. So check out the book, check out the pre-order gifts, and I will see you next video. Bye, brains.